Hi everyone, and welcome to the 5th video in this production series. In this video I'll be showing you how I recorded and mixed the vocals for my song Lily. When the demo is done and I'm happy with the lyrics and vocal melodies, I begin recording the vocals. I do a lot of different takes and then edit the best ones together, which is why you can see a few cuts and splits in the vocal tracks. In the mixing process, I separate the heavy vocals from the cleans, since I need to do different effect sends later. A lot of the same principles apply, but we'll start looking at the heavy vocals. This is what the heavy vocals sound like unprocessed.
If you think I am finished, then I don't treat no more. You are mistaken. You are mistaken. You are mistaken. You are mistaken. You are mistaken.
Then I start by adding some processing to the individual track. For vocals, there are mainly 4 effects that I always apply unless it has been done during recording. First, I apply a preamp to bring in some analog saturation and maybe a little bit of EQ. Secondly, I apply heavy compression, sometimes even using 2 different compressors. The third step is a de-esser to remove sibilance. The fourth and last step is EQ. Sometimes I apply other effects or layers of EQ and compression, but those corrections are usually pretty minor. This is what the heavy vocals sound like if I turn the individual processing on.
You keep permission to lay your hands on me! You're not invited, so keep away! You're not Messiah, don't you make that mistake! As long as you live, you'll never be free!
For the low growls, I recorded a dubbed layer, which is kept low in the mix. For key moments, I add 2 additional layers, one is panned to the left and one is panned to the right. It makes the sound much wider and it sounds like this.
The Queen will march to war, and your eyes fear!
Now it's usually time to do effect sends, but for this song I kept the heavy vocals really dry to keep a raw and authentic sound. There are only 2 main effect sends. One widens the lead vocal and the other is an artificial distortion kept really low in the mix. A few times during the song I apply a throw delay or a reverb tail. I even applied a layer with a formant shift during the breakdown for a really cool effect. Take a listen. For clean vocals, I follow the same procedure on individual tracks, but I also apply pitch correction. Additionally, I record harmonies and layer them for a bigger sound. This is what the chorus lead sounds like with no processing at all.
Cast by a dying sun, the writing in the sand speaks of a broken one who bends to their command.
Now listen to it with all the effects and harmonies applied. It makes a huge difference.
Drawn by a serpent tongue, the one who wears the chain, to play out the final hand and shift the sense again.
The additional effect sends consist of a reverb and 2 different delays that are both ducked with a compressor. This is done so they don't interfere with the lead vocals. Lastly, for vocals, just like everything else, they send to the mix bus where they are processed with all the instruments. This is what the bridge sounds like a cappella, with all effects and layers.
Through darkest of winters, a lily dressed in white, she folds in her feathers to await the morning light. To hear her calling for the love she's yearning. She has fallen, but roots grow out of sight.
That's actually the end of this production series, because there are no more steps to the vocals, and I've already shown you all the other instruments. However, I am considering doing a bonus episode on theoretical aspects and insights from the composition. So, if you're interested in music theory and my thoughts on writing, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video, or maybe this entire series. I hope it gave you an insight into how I produced this progressive metal track, and maybe you learned just a few tips or tricks along the way. Stay tuned by subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.